Good afternoon, everybody. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering's Undergraduate Scholarship and Awards Ceremony. You may have noticed that I am not Paul Kennis, the head of the department and the Elio Eliakim Tarika Endowed Chair, as it indicates in your program's event schedule. I am Simon Rogers, an assistant professor in the department. We would like to begin today by recognizing and acknowledging that we are on the lands of the following nations: the Peoria, the Kaskakia, the Piankashaw, the Wea, the Miami, the Mascoutin, the Odawa, the Sauk, the Muskakwi, the Kickapoo, the Potawatomi, the Ojibwe, and the Chickasaw. These lands were the traditional territory of these native nations prior to their forced removal. These lands continue to carry the stories of these nations and their struggles for survival and identity. As a land-grant institution, the University of Illinois has a particular responsibility to acknowledge the peoples of these lands, as well as the histories of dispossession that have allowed for the growth of this institution for the past 150 years. We are also obligated to reflect on and actively address these histories and the role that this university has played in shaping them. This acknowledgement and the centering of Native peoples is a start as we move forward for the next 150 years. Despite the last-minute change in MC for today's event, I'm thrilled that each of you could join us here, where we acknowledge the generous contributions of our alumni and friends and the merits of our students. We truly appreciate your support of our students and thank you for being here today. After holding this event remotely last year, it's exciting to be back together again, in person, for an event that is at the heart of our undergraduate program. It's meaningful to be able to recognize our students who have gone above and beyond, particularly in such challenging times. Thanks to our organizers who have made this event possible, including Christy Bowser, Becky Lyle, Sydney Oliveira, J.D. Rogers, and Claire Benjamin. I'd also like to thank my fellow Scholarships and Awards Committee members, Dr. Deborah E. Leckband and Wendy Balthazar, who helped me select today's scholarships and award recipients. Dr. Leckband will also co-host today's event. Thank you all. I would also like to acknowledge our other faculty members, some of whom who have joined us. We have Dr. Joe Flos, thank you, Professor Charles Singh, and Professor John Higdon. Today, we will recognize two outstanding groups of students. First, we will recognize our undergraduate students who have earned scholarships or awards because of their achievements in our rigorous program. Many of these honors are the result of generous gifts or endowments from our alumni and corporate partners who understand the great value and impact of an Illinois education and have expressed that gratitude by supporting scholarships, and for that, we are very thankful. Last year, Dr. Kennis said that he looked forward to the day when we would be able to thank some of our donors in person for giving back to the department and supporting future generations of students. Today is that day. We are joined by several folks who have made these recognitions possible, who I will acknowledge shortly. Later on in the program, we'll recognize the students who competed in the Undergraduate Research Symposium held earlier today. Thank you to the Chemical Engineering Honor Society, Omega Chi Epsilon, for hosting this event for the 15th time. Thanks especially to Ox President Devin Shinsky for organizing and presenting the results with us. I would also like to thank the alumni panel of judges who made today's research symposium possible. Gonzalo Campio Alvarado is an Illinois Distinguished Postdoctoral Research Associate. Kenneth Jaconetty is the Senior Director, IP Legal Lead for IP Transactions at Astellas Pharma US, and Paul John is the Chief Operations Officer of the Battery Anode Materials Project for Syrah Technologies, an Australian minerals and technology company. Thank you for your time and insights today. These three alumni are among an impressive group, Our graduates include CEOs and VPs of major companies, including the former CEO of Shell, Steve Miller, Steve Probst, the CEO of Sage Environmental, Marco Northern, SVP at Procter & Gamble, and Bob Dudley, who just retired as CEO of BP. Our alumni have invented or have been involved with developing products that are familiar to many of us. From Kraft single cheese and DiGiorno pizza to Cheerios, Kleenex tissues, the flame-retardant material that spacesuits are made of, as well as the latest variations of Budweiser and Wrigley chewing gum. Indeed, in our chemical engineering program, we educate future inventors and global leaders. It is incredibly rewarding to recognize 3 alumni whose new scholarships will be presented here today for the first time. In addition to serving as a judge for our undergraduate research symposium this year, Ken Jaconetty has established a scholarship to support our students from backgrounds that are too little represented in academia. Being able to provide our chemical engineering education to a diverse student body is crucial for our state, nation, and industry. Endowments like the Jaconetty Scholarship Fund help us achieve this goal by supporting students who might not otherwise be able to attend Illinois. Thank you, Ken, for being here today and giving back to our students. Dan Haynes, recently retired from Procter & Gamble, has established a unique scholarship to support our students who are pursuing co-ops to complement their education. The scholarship is named in honor of Rebecca J. Simon, a longtime advisor and former director of the SCS Placement Center, who is remembered by many as an ever-faithful student advocate and for a voice of encouragement and reassurance. Although Dan could not be here today as planned, we are grateful for his efforts to memorialize a special member of our community and to help our students pursue real-world experiences. Last but not least, it's my pleasure to recognize Joseph Drago, who, as you may have seen in our latest edition of Mass Transfer, served as our December convocation speaker. This year marks the 50th anniversary of Drago's own graduation, and he has remained faithfully committed to his alma mater and future generations of students ever since. Joe has served as a research symposium judge, a frequent guest speaker for the Chibi 494 Process Safety course, and earlier this week, he attended our Chibi 121 poster sessions, an event he has sponsored several times. To commemorate the Golden Jubilee of his graduation, Joe has established the Philip and Ann Drago Scholarship Fund in memory of his parents. Philip Drago earned a bachelor's degree in 1948 and a master's degree in the teaching of French, 1950, from the University of Illinois. Joe is a nuclear and industrial safety expert, and therefore it is fitting that this scholarship is awarded to a student in their senior year who has a focus on chemical process safety, nuclear safety, or bio-related safety. Joe, thank you for being here today, and congratulations on your Chibi Golden Jubilee. We are also joined here today by our alumnus, John Bartels, who is the Global Concept Development Appraisal Lead at BP, one of our generous corporate sponsors. Thanks to John and BP for your support. I would also like to formally acknowledge all of our other donors who have supported these scholarships over many years. Thank you for your help. Thank you for helping us recognize so many deserving students in the past, today, and in the future. Now, a few words about this year's scholarship recipients. The students here today have diverse backgrounds, interests, and career goals, yet they are united by their commitment to excellence. They excel in the classroom and in the lab. They are leaders who volunteer to tutor other Chemie students, organize outreach efforts, and advocate for many other causes. No doubt, with us here today are future chemical engineering professors and professionals, as well as CEOs, diplomats, entrepreneurs, marketers, and more. We can't wait to see where this commitment to excellence will take you in your careers and life. At this stage, I would like to hand over to Professor Leckband for the presentation of scholarships and awards.
Thank you, Simon. So now as I call the names of the recipients. Please step forward to receive your certificates. So the recipient of the John Martin Achenbauer Memorial Scholarship is Edward Nevis. I'm going to photobomb in the background. So this year's recipient of the Franklin A. Boyle Scholarship and the Philip and Ann Drago Scholarship is Joel Klecka. Please step forward. Joe Drago, please come forward to be recognized. Let's see. Joe, would you? Oh. Oh, okay. Did not know that. All right.
So we'll hold this in Now it's going to look like I'm Joel. That's why I was a little confused. Okay, thank you. Okay.
So this year's recipient of the Mary S. and Dr. Howard W. Cox Jr. Scholarship is Jacob Milo. The recipient of the Donald E. Eisel Memorial Award is Darshan Patel. The recipient of the Robert S. Fry Chemical Engineering Scholarship is Julie Fredrickson. The Clarence G. Gerhold Memorial Scholarship, Manasi Vaidya. The recipients of the James K. Grant Chemical Engineering Scholarship are Emily Bolger and Bai-Chen Chung. I'm going to take this off. The recipient of the Chester W. Hannum Scholarship are Emily Chow and Brianna Sobex. The recipient of the Dr. John L. Jack Hudson Legacy Scholarship is Catherine Southern. The recipient of the Kenneth E. Jaconetty Scholarship is Andrea Maya. Ken, would you please come forward to be recognized? Is Ken here? Oh, okay.
Oh, he is. Come on back up. We'll stand to this side.
The recipient of the Donald B. Keyes Award is Kwang Yun Kim. The recipient of the John W. Latcham Jr. Scholarship is Wei Ping Lam. The recipient of the Dr. Ray A. Menser Scholarship is Edward Kuczynski. The recipient of the Kirk Nass and Michael Gillespie Scholarship is Caitlin Wickstead. The recipient of the Marcho Dill Northern Scholarship is Jared Boisbeng. The recipient of the Raymond M. Pasteris Scholarship is Beth Bourne. The recipient of the Worth Huff Rodebush Scholarship is Isabel Hughes. Recipient of the Rebecca Schiff-Berger Memorial Scholarship is Chantal Corday. Recipient of the Roger and Ruth Schmidt Scholarship is Melissa Manich. The recipient of the Rebecca J. Simon Memorial Scholarship is Serena Escalona. The recipient of the Ronald and Janet Van Minen Scholarship is Nicholas Siss. The recipients of the John Weedman Scholarship are Mary Amon, Kyle Gray, An Nguyen, Sujay Someshwar. The recipient of the Bruno H. Wojcik Scholarship is Vikram Mubaya. And now for our corporate scholarships, the BP Scholarship, and I'd like to ask John Bartels to please come forward to be recognized. The recipients are Zachary DeLeon, Megan Shamsi, Landon Turvey. This year's Exxon Foundation Scholarship recipient is Devin Shinsky. The Phillips 66 Scholarship recipients are Fatima Al-Ghanim, Ja Yoon Lee, and Rachel Park. The Roman Haas Scholarship recipients are Chicago Barnes, Hao Yu Chen, and Jonathan Klein. So that concludes today's recognition of our scholarship recipients and donors. Thank you. And I'll turn the podium back over to Professor Simon.
Thank you very much, Professor Leckband. In a moment, Devin Shinsky will present the winners from today's Undergraduate Research Symposium. But first, I'd like to formally introduce this year's alumni judges. Gonzalo Campio Alvarado is an Illinois Distinguished Postdoctoral Research Associate at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, working with Professor Ying Diao. This fall, he will begin a tenure-track position as an assistant professor at Reid College. Dr. Campio Alvarado integrates knowledge of supramolecular reversible and mechanochemistry with emphasis on boron to engineer crystalline materials with functional properties. He earned his bachelor's degree from the Universidad Veracruzana, his master's degree from the Universidad Autónoma del Estado de Morales, and his doctorate from the University of Iowa. Kenneth Jaconetty, a BS in 1982, is the Senior Director, IP Legal Lead for IP Transactions at Astellas Pharma, US. Previously, he has served as Assistant General Counsel for IP at Takeda Pharmaceuticals and Senior Counsel at Baxter Healthcare Corporation, and in numerous other roles as a patent and intellectual property attorney. Ken earned his JD at George Washington University Law School. Inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, he has established scholarships at both of his alma maters to combat institutional racism and create a more inclusive system. Paul Jahn, BS 1981, is the Chief Operations Officer of the Battery Anode Materials Project for Syrah Technologies, an Australian minerals and technology company. His previous roles include Senior Management Consultant at the Bridgewater Winston Consultancy, LLC, Executive VP at the International Alliance Group, and Senior VP and General Manager at Mido. In addition to his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, Paul earned a master's degree in management science from the MIT Sloan School of Management. Thanks also to Paul's wife, Mickey, for joining us today. As these three no doubt discovered today, our undergraduate students are contributing to grand efforts to create a more equitable and sustainable world. Throughout this past year, despite the ongoing pandemic, they have remained committed to their research goals, which makes their accomplishments today that we recognize even more impressive. Devon, please come forward to share the results.
So thank you all for coming here. I just want to take this time to thank and acknowledge the students that participated in this year's symposium. There's some really exciting projects that we got to see, things from material implants for biomedical applications to inorganic synthesis of different types of molecules and materials. And so as I call your name, just come on up, you'll get your certificate, and then I will announce the actual winners at the end. So Jane Allen. Andrew Cheng. Andrew Gondola. Kyle Gray. Edward Nieves. Max Polanek. Brianna Sobex. And David Yang. So for third place, we have David Yang from the Guérin Group. Second place, we have Edward Nieves. Pardon, Edward. Second place. And first place, Max Polnick. Thank you again to our participants. Oh, yes, and judges, please come up for a photo. Either, maybe both.
You're going to need to scrunch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Devon, and thank you everyone for joining us here today to recognize our outstanding undergraduate students and alumni who remind us of how special our community is here at Illinois. It is a special delight to return to holding this event in person and to acknowledge all of you today. In the years ahead, we look forward to welcoming you all back for more celebrations. One day, we hope that today's scholarship recipients and symposium winners will return to their alma mater to serve as research symposium judges and perhaps to be recognized for giving back, just like Ken, Dan, Joe, and countless others who continue this legacy of giving back to support the future generations of chemical engineers who will likewise work to make our world a better place. This concludes today's scholarship and awards ceremony. I'd like to invite Joel Clicker and Joe Drago, Andrea Mejia and Kenneth Jaconetty, and John Bartels, Zachary DeLeon, Megan Shumsey, and Landon Turvey, and Devon and our alumni judges again forward for photos. There are refreshments available at the back of the room. Please enjoy. Thank you very much.